Hi, I'm Santa Claus.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's wonderful to have you with us for this holiday season. Now, Stevie, why are you trying to look like Santa?
Stevie? Trish, I am Santa. Careful or you'll find yourself on the naughty list.
You keep pretending to be Santa and you'll get a lump of coal in your stocking.
Would you believe I'm Scott Calvin?
No, but I do believe it's time we introduce our first guest, artist Michelle Firment Reid.
Oh, Michelle, she's on Santa's good list.
She is a very talented artist who has had her art featured in shows all over, including Tulsa's own Hardesty Art Center.
When we lived in Paris, we visited the museums a lot. And one of the museums we visited had Monet's water lilies, which are still there, Musée d'Oranger. And I was probably around the age of 7. But what fascinated me was the viewers looking at the paintings. And they would stand back, and then they'd look up close, and they'd stand back and look up close. And I thought, wow. And I think I got the connection. Aha, this is what art does. This is what art does. It connects the viewer. So it was at that moment, really, because of Monet, that I decided I want to be an artist. I want to affect people this way with my work. I want them to take this kind of time, whether they like it or not, but appreciation, and view it and have them come with their own feeling from it. Well, my father he's now retired. My father was CIA undercover for 32 years. And I discovered that later in high school when he came out, you know. And so that's why we moved back to the Northern Virginia, and he worked out in Langley. And then my mother was at that time just doing her art because it was difficult, but she never was able to show in galleries or do anything because, you know, moving all the time. And then later she just went on to her own as a nurse. Well, my mother painted when I was growing up. I always liked art. It was just part of my life. I never thought it was something that I could actually major in. I was a communications major, I was a freshman, I was painting door windows and writing poetry, and pretty much failing all my classes because I wasn't doing my passion. And I'm like, something's wrong here. I'm not happy. So I transferred and went to the Corcoran College of Art and Design and received a BFA in Fine Arts. Well, we're crossing the line. We're going over the lines. We're doing our own thing. We're kind of rebels and independent thinkers. I mean, maybe not all artists, and we want to experiment. At least that's how I am as an artist. I'm always wanting to push it and push myself. That's why I'm more multimedia today. I did painting and still am a painter, but I also love photography. I love sculpture. I love installation work where people are coming into an environment where you're really expressing your work in a way where they can kind of soak it in around them. You know, the work is so open to people to come with their own feeling. For instance, I do a semic writing in my work, which is kind of a lyrical writing. There's no actual words. It looks like handwriting. A semic writing's been around for hundreds of years. And it's just a way of the viewer can look at the work without getting caught up in words. And it's a kind of a medium where it can transcend anybody. So if somebody was saying something about my work, I think it kind of puts them in their own space and their own feeling. It's more of a feeling that it evokes because it's more abstract expressive. My recent show was Ocean of Thought, which I had at AHA at the Hardesty Art Center in January and February. And I really enjoyed that because it was large installation work. I had 3 large sails that hung from the ceiling that was mesh. They were about 16 by 20 feet. And I had the whole environment to work with. I was able to show my photography work. I was able to show my video work installation because I also like video, live music, and dance performance. I was able to show some of my painting and even curate the show and pull it all together. I'm in a really good place. I'm very fortunate. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work being an artist. You have to be resilient and you just have to keep going. So I'm lucky.